Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Coach T, coming straight out of Pontiac, Michigan. I want to thank God for life, joy, hope, peace, and His promise. It has been a while since I've gone live. And so I just want to welcome you to the T Nicole Show. And I'm excited for today because I wanted to showcase my brother and my new friends who are doing something great in the city of Detroit, Michigan. And so I wanted to bring them on because they have a program that is taking place every Saturday in the month of August. And so I want to make sure people know why it's important, when you need to come out, who can be a part of the movement, and why this movement is so important. And so, if you can, make sure y'all share this video, comment below, and if you are watching it, please let us know where you're watching it from because we want to make sure that we are leaving an imprint on people's heart, and we want to make sure you know what's taking place in your city, wherever you may be. So we'll talk to you soon. So here go my first guest, and so I'm finna bring him on all the way from Detroit, Michigan. His name is Dion Riggen-EL, and so I'm excited for the work that he is doing, and so I want to make sure y'all know who he is and why it's important for you to meet him. Hey, Dion, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. So, can you tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, my name is Dion Riggen-EL. I'm an activist. For humanity. I'm the CEO of a Facebook group called Free People, Free People. I'm a father, a husband. I'm a lot. I'm a lot. I wear a
Mhm,
lot of hats, as they say.
mhm.
Yeah.
And so look, Dion is so humble, and and I asked him to give me a little bit more, but he gonna give me what we need today. And so Dion, so can you tell us why are we here today? So let us know about the project that I want people to know about.
Okay. Well, as you know, I do a lot of advocacy for individuals that's incarcerated, along, beside my nephew and other individuals such as Susan Brown, Tamara Washington, uh, Omar. It's a lot of people that I advocate for that's incarcerated, that
Mhm,
have children, that have raised their children from incarceration. A lot of us, like my nephew, he has children that he has raised from prison. I have been a part of their lives all their life, even while still in prison. I think when my nephew went to prison, my niece had to be about between 1 and 2 years old. So it took a while for him to even to get to know her from prison. So what I do now is, I talk to these individuals that have raised their children from prison, and that have accomplishments, but it's a lot of things that children go through when their parents are incarcerated, that sometimes they don't be so well accomplished. So what I did was I created a project, and it's called Youth Healing Project. And what the Youth Healing Project is other youth that may have experienced the same thing that our youth experiencing now, with their parents being incarcerated. I let those children, or they now they're young adults. I call them my young mentors. So now they're young adults, and they're able to mentor to their peers, how they overcame some of the obstacles and barriers of things that they went through, just by they having a loved one, or a father or a mother that's incarcerated. So we started a workshop, and the last Saturday was the first beginning of the workshop. And the first beginning of the workshop is conflict resolution. A lot of our children do not know how to deal with conflict resolution at a young age, between the ages of, I, from 3 years old to 21 years old. But this project that I created is for children and young adults from the ages of 12 years old to 21 years old. So we had it went well too, didn't it, Miss T?
It really did. I was glad to be in the house on that day. Mhm.
So we had a whole curriculum that my nephew had put together, and it was based on conflict resolution, talking about what could be hot spots, and these hot spots that like some of the places where we gather at in our communities. What if those hot spots became gathering spots for a peace spot? You know what I'm saying? So where people can come and communicate and talk to one another, besides their stealing and shooting each other and causing havoc. So we talked about that, and then we talked about a lot of other things dealing with conflict resolution. And this Saturday we're gonna be having um how we'll have a speaker come out and talk about hardship, financial hardship, and how you overcome financial hardship as a young adult. There's some of the things that you got to go through to do in order to build some finances, besides resorting to selling drugs, or doing other things that may be illegal to do, that may get you caught up and go to prison. She's gonna come out and give us some input on that.
Mhm. So I got a question for you because I believe you touched on it earlier. Because you being someone, have you ever been incarcerated before, Dion?
Yeah. I
Okay.
actually, I actually, um, I actually, in a sense, I don't want to say I grew up in the system, but I was committed to the state. At a young age. They took me out of the household and committed me to the state for doing some of the things that I was doing as a juvenile, and all that did was just escalate to me doing something when I got older, and got me in. I went to prison. I went to prison when I was 20, same age as my nephew was when he went to prison. I was 22 years old when I went to
Mm.
prison.
So I got a question for you because I know I was at the event on Saturday. And so you just mentioned briefly in the beginning how you have some mentee or mentors that their parents or their loved ones are incarcerated. And so they had to, they were a part of the system where, their parents were raising them from the inside, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what impact did that have on your children, if anything? Like having, or were you at home by the time you had your children?
Oh, I was when I came home from prison. I was in my 30s. I was in my 30s when I came home from prison, and I didn't have children when I went to prison. When I came home from prison, I started my life at I started my life at 30 years old, being an adult. You know what I'm saying? When I came
Mhm.
home from prison, when I went to prison, I wasn't an adult. I was a 22-year-old young man, but I didn't consider myself as an adult. I made decisions, but some of the decisions that I made wasn't adult decisions that I thought they was, and that's what got me into trouble.
Mm. Okay, well, listen, we have another special guest that we're finna bring to the stage, and so she is actually a mentor, and so she go by the name of Cash. That's what her name is on the screen. So I want to make sure y'all meet her. So we finna bring her up on the stage. Hi, Cashmere. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
We are wonderful. Dion, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, Cashmere.
Hey.
Okay,
Okay.
so Miss Cashmere, can you tell our viewers who you are and how you are a part of the movement?
Yes. So I'm Cash. I am a child of a prisoner that is currently incarcerated, and I am currently a part of the movement as a mentor in the youth project. And I think that, um, yeah, those were your two questions. Sorry.
No, if you want to add more, go ahead. I'm not stopping you.
um, Okay. I just wanted to pretty much say, like, I'm a part of the movement as a mentor in the current youth project that is going on within the community. But prior to that, I would say that I did follow along with the movement through family members of mine that know about the movement, through my father, through Dion, and all of that. So I have kept tabs on everything, and I think it's a very important movement that we have going on.
Okay. Thank
Absolutely.
you so very much. So, Cash, Dion, I want to bring you back to the stage as well. Hold on one second. So Dion, so what made you say I want to do this project?
What made me say I want to do this? Well, I
Mm-hmm.
will. Well, actually, you know, I got love for humanity. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying. And I want to see when we all say that. A lot of us say our children are our future. When you say your child is your future, then you have to install in your children what the future look like, because you may not be here when your child get to the future. So I just want our children to be able to be aware and how to live. You know what I'm saying? How to get through certain things. Because it's a lot of privileged children out here, and there's a lot of deep deprived children out here as well. I want to reach those deprived children that may not have the support from their father or from their family, even though they may live with one of their family members or whatever, but they don't got that support because their family members can't relate to their what they're going through. So what made me do this is I want other individuals that have children out here that may still be incarcerated, but I want their children to be able to express some of how did they overcome the obstacles and barriers, and becoming into themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like Cashmere, she's a magnificent young woman, that came to herself. Her story is when her father got incarcerated, she was a baby. She was a young girl. So at that age, she didn't really understand at the time, but then when she got older, you know, I'll let her tell her story when she ready to tell her story. But when at the time she came to herself and
Mm-hmm.
knew that, even though my father's incarcerated, I still have a life. That's what I get from her, from Cashmere's experience from her father being incarcerated. So I want our youth to be able to connect with other individuals if they're going through something, or if they ever been through anything, how to navigate through it. I know with me being my age, I can't really go talk to, and I really experienced that Saturday when the guest that you brought, I really experienced that. I really can't connect with her like that, as like those other children that came and sat at the table connected with her. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
so it takes the person that peer group to be able to reach out and connect with other individuals, and that's one of the reasons what made me do this.
And I want to say I was there on Saturday, and so I saw that, and I'm glad that you have created this safe space, because it's so many people that are vulnerable, and not only vulnerable but face trauma, face challenges, and don't know how to maneuver through life. And so I'm glad that you have this space, and I love the fact that you have people like Cashmere, people like Duane, people like Darius, that have been a part of the struggle, because that's what I say, it's a struggle, but it's in everything. Because I found out that, like, when we go through different things and different challenges, it's like, where do you find your strength? So I believe that you going through this, you facing this, and you're growing and you're becoming who you need to become. And here you're giving people a place to be seen, to be heard, to be valued, and to say that I'm not alone, I'm not by myself. So I want to go to Cash. So what made you say I want to be a mentor? And do you believe, like, how do you feel this program is going to impact your life and someone else's life?
Okay. I wanted to be a mentor because I feel like when you think about like people that are incarcerated, oftentimes like you only think about that person and you don't think about like the family members. And sometimes there's also children that are attached to that. And for me growing up, I didn't know a lot of other kids that had parents that were incarcerated, So like when Father's Day comes around, or when we're talking about certain stuff within our friend groups, like there's a lot of the times when a person will refer to their father and I'm just like, I don't know what that's like, like I don't know what that's like. And my conversations that I have with my father are timed, they're recorded. Like it's not recorded for me to hear any playback. It's recorded for the government. Like I don't have anyone around me that has this same type of experience, and that wasn't even just in childhood. That was growing up. Period. Like to this day, I think I know maybe two other people that have, like parents that have been incarcerated, and most likely parents that have been released. Like there's not people whose parents are still locked up at their, like they're in their 20s, like me. So for me being a mentor, it was having a chance to not only like kind of recount everything that I've been through and like how I went through it, but also giving someone else the tools to get through it that is in the stage that I was in 10, 15 years ago. Or maybe even, like in their 20s as well, depending on who we have, like corresponding and coming. But, for the most part, that was why I wanted to, was I never really had a chance to tell my story in any type of platform or anything like that. And it's not that I didn't have a chance. I didn't really, I don't know, I guess I never really seen the point until now.
Hmm.
I want to say something, girl. You done blessed me just with those few words because, like, a lot of times until you are put in a situation, you really don't know how to expand on it. But to see you and hear you, like, I value you. I value your strength. And the thing is, now you have that platform. And the good thing is, I remember on Saturday, you was like, we got to talk to people. Like, you got to find one person or a group of people or whoever to talk to. But this is the way that I found my peace, by creating platforms. So coming here, giving somebody an opportunity to share their story, to talk about the program that they are a part of, because we want people to come because they need to meet you. They need to meet Dion. They need to meet Duane, Darius, and every person that walked through the door. Because again, you said your parent has been gone for most of all your life, right? Because you don't remember them because it was so early. And then to, like you said, like sometimes you might see some kids on Father's Day, birthdays, holidays, where they can talk to their parents and see their parents and laugh. And then you, on the other hand, you couldn't see them unless you went to go visit them, or like you said, it's recorded on the through for the government to be able to hear the whole conversation in this time. But I want to thank you again, because like when I tell you, when I was there on Saturday, I was just sitting back, I was observing, and I was listening. And I love the way y'all was interacting with one another. And then how the kids that were there, they were really engaged. They were giving feedback so they could see, like, when y'all were talking about the conflict resolution, it's like you do give them the tools that they need, because a lot of times they don't realize they have what they need. But to be able to cultivate it, I feel like this is a platform that is allowing them to cultivate the gifts, and they're sending it from people that are closer to their age. So I want to again say thank you. Thank you for being the strong woman. And I know sometimes you might have had those moments where you didn't feel so strong, you probably didn't feel so loved or appreciated or whatever the case may be. But today, I want to say thank you. And I thank you for saying yes to being here, because here on the T Nicole Show, I just want people to be able to tell their story. So if you feel led to say something about your story, or if you feel led that you just want to get something out, because we don't know who gonna see this video, but the right people that need to see it, they will see it. And so, guys, we got another guest here, and so he is on, and so I want to bring Duane up, and so let's say hello to Duane. Let me see. Hey, Duane, how are you?
Hi guys.
What's up,
Hey,
nephew?
Dwayne.
Hey,
What's
look
up,
at that.
all? My
Yes,
bad, y'all. I had to stay over at work a little bit. They held me over.
that's okay. You see how that sun, you couldn't see it, but the sun was shining behind you, and then your big old Kool-Aid smile was right there too. So that's something somebody needed to see on today. You hear me?
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Okay,
I'm
but
glad.
So, can you tell everybody who you are and why this project is important to you?
Okay, so first, I'm Duane Riggen. I am the nephew of Dion Riggen, and Demel Dukes is my cousin. All of this kind of transpired kind of from my cousin with him being incarcerated. Um, I was there when he got incarcerated, when he was sentenced. I was at the courtroom when he was sentenced. I was like in the third grade, and that really it was traumatic to me. So I would say that this is important to me because I want to make sure. Hello.
Yeah, you here? Go ahead. Go.
Okay.
You didn't know you was going to be on the spotlight, but that's okay.
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 Keep going. We lost you for a second, but go ahead. What was you saying?
I wanted to share my experience with other people. I wanted to share with other mentors, even with the other adults that's there. Maybe me sharing my experience could help them to not get into the trouble, or let them feel not so they won't feel they can be more proud of their situation. They don't have to feel like it's
Mm.
only them going through that. They can have some, we can relate with our experiences.
That's good. So I wanted to ask you guys. So how long is this program, and who is this program for?
Well, the program is only for the first Saturdays of each month, starting on the third. I mean, starting on the fifth, which was last Saturday, and it's gonna be a 5 week. It's 5 weeks. So, like I said, we got the next phase of the program is financial hardships and how to overcome that. And then the next one we'll have the following week after that we'll have speaking truth to power. A lot of times, and I talk to my nephew about this all the time, man. When you speaking truth to power, man. So, a lot of times we say things that we want to do, and we speak it, but we gotta speak it into power. So when you put that force behind it and it push you to do what you need to do in order to be accomplished, you gotta have enough confidence and discipline to even put truth to power. So we're gonna have a conversation about that, and then we're gonna have a cultural trip. I would really love for the children to come back out for the cultural trip because we're gonna be going down to the African History Museum down, I think it's downtown. That's where we're gonna be going. And then after that, we'll have a ceremony the following week, the last week. We're gonna have a ceremony where we're gonna be giving out recognition for participating in this group. I mean, in this project. And this is just the first of many. This is just the first one that I'm put together. And hopefully we could do it again and make it spread. Hopefully other individuals that have mentors will be able to build the same platform and do the same thing because it's going to take more than just the youth project to reach our children. Everybody got a place a position and put in a place to do a specific goal or a specific task, but we can't do it all. So I encourage other people that's having ideas of mentoring and stuff like that to get connected, and we can work and make it spread.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. I love that. So I got a question. Anybody can answer it. So what do you hope that children or individuals that come to the event each session, what do you hope they gain from this project? Anybody can answer it.
I answer.
Okay.
I think all of us can answer, but I want to just start by saying I hope they have some self awareness of who they are. Um, and also I want them to know just because you got family that went to prison, just because you may have some parents or relatives that went to prison, that don't mean that it's gonna happen to you. I want them to know, or even from me to learn from me. Hey, I know that I knew this guy Duane, his mentor. He said he had some troubles with the law, or he had family in prison, and he still was able to become a successful member of society.
Okay. I love
Mhm.
that. Cash, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah. What I would add to that is yes, definitely I think a sense of self is very important. Um but I think the most important thing would probably be community. Like I would hope that the kids that attend, or I keep saying kids and I don't mean to say that,
Children,
the people
right?
that attend this program, I hope that they feel a sense of community, where there's some people that might feel alone, or there might be some people that, yeah, they might have like one person to talk to, or it might just be like me, like it was just my grandmother. um but there are other people, you know, that you can actually talk to, and like that you can lean on, that you can confide into in those darkest moments, in the times when you need strength, any of that. So I will hope that they feel a sense of community.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Okay, Dion, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I was just thinking what Cashmere just said, and that's absolutely right, man. Because you know, sometimes I watched it firsthand. Watching my niece and my nephews grow up without their father, and the position that that my sister and my brother-in-law took as being the substitute parent. And my nephew, me and my nephew was like when he was conceived with my sister. I always told him he was like a son to me. You know what I'm saying, from birth. So it was like he was my son. And now, even though he's my nephew, he's like a son, just like my nephew on here now. I consider him like a son too. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm his uncle, but I still got that fatherly uh instinct for him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when we connect with one another and be able to relate with one another. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times a child will hold a lot of stuff in. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know why. Especially when they parent is incarcerated, a lot of children don't want that to be known because they think they're gonna get made fun of, or they gonna think that sometimes like my nephew like Duane used to think that it was okay. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get you some kind of grounding points and get you some kind of respect, but that it really don't do that. It's just setting you up to be part of that rotation of going to prison. You know what I'm saying? So
Continue
we have to
that cycle.
install that
Yeah.
in our youth. You don't gotta be like your father. You don't gotta follow in your father's footsteps, because 9 times out of 10, if you called your father or talk to your father, he gonna try to tell you don't do what he did because you don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? So we trying to nip that in the bud early with our youth.
Okay. Well, I love that. So I just want to say this because for every Saturday for the rest of the month of August, you guys are welcome to come out. And so we want to encourage you to come out. So we want to make sure that y'all comment below on this video, you share this video, and y'all make sure y'all come to Schoolcraft. What's the address, Dion?
It's 22450 Schoolcraft. The name of the facility is Godland Unity Church.
Mm-hmm.
It's located right there on the service drive, which is Schoolcraft between Outer Drive and Telegraph. And
Okay.
we also, you know what I'm saying, you could join the Facebook group, Free People, Free People. We also live streaming it. So, if you can't show up, at least, watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really looking to have a room. I wish I could meet these individuals in person and be able to connect with them in person. But if you can't make it and you can't be there in person, support it on the social media platform, because that's another avenue of getting this to other children that may want to participate, or may have that may go to their parent, or may go to somebody that they know that may be mentoring them and be like, you know what, I heard this, I seen that, we could do something just like that, and and start building on it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I love that. So I want to ask y'all if y'all could just give us a couple minutes to let people know who you are. Well, not so much who you are, but just anything that you would like people to know. Like if you got words of inspiration, encouragement, anything that you would like people to know, and how they can follow you, support you, because Duane and Cash, you both are mentors. And so I just want to make sure I give you that space to be able to let people know who it is, I mean, who you are and what it is that you do, and how people can reach out to you and Dion, you as well.
We
Cashmere, you
let
can start
Cashmere go.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ladies first.
Ladies
Go
first.
ahead,
Ladies first.
Cash. Ladies first.
Oh, I appreciate it. um So I how you can reach out to me? What do you mean? Like my social
Like your
media?
social medias, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Mhm.
Okay. So my social media is pretty much the same except for I mean Facebook, but I don't really check Facebook that much, so you would have better luck not reaching me there. My Instagram handle is being like human being cash. I am probably like the most responsive on there. So you can definitely reach me there if you need to. I'm also on TikTok. It's the same thing. Um yeah. I mean if you message me on Facebook, I might check it, but it might be a minute. So don't, like get upset if it takes me a while to get back.
Mhm.
Um
Yeah, they say Facebook is for the old people, man. So we don't.
I,
I
I
got a
mean
nice
it's
following on Facebook.
See, good.
Facebook got comedy on there, so I do get caught scrolling sometimes looking at my timeline and getting some giggles out. But yeah, no, I update every so often. I talk to my family that like don't live within a 20-minute drive from me on there, but that's about it. Um, but the one thing that I would definitely say is like don't be afraid, like if this is somebody or if it is you, because sometimes it's not us, it's even people we know and you care about them
Right.
and that you can see them struggling or anything like that to cope with this, or just not being on the right path or anything like that. Like don't be afraid to reach out to us, but also don't be afraid to reach out to that person and like see what you can do for them, because sometimes that's really all we need is just somebody that'll listen to us. And sometimes it's not easy for us to open up. I definitely say that for myself. Like I am very introverted extrovert. I'm okay with talking to people, but it does take me a minute. I might not want to talk about it, but I might want your company, or I might want you to distract me or something like that. But like I would definitely say just give them time. It's hard. Sometimes it isn't even just like judgment necessarily. It's more so just the fact that like for me, like I was saying, like my father, I don't know when he's gonna get out, like so I don't know when this will ever, like end. It has no deadline. So it's just kind of like for me, some days it's okay, sometimes it's not. And sometimes I don't want to talk about it. Sometimes I don't even want to talk about that person, or I don't want you to check up on me about that person, because that's not the one thing I want to talk about. And it's not me saying I don't care about that person in prison. It's more so this is affecting me, but I don't want to deal with it in this moment.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your transparency and thank you for that. And so as a coach, I'm learning different things. And so what could you say to the young Cashmere? Or like pretend like you're talking to a young person. Like what would you say? Even though I feel like you gave them some encouraging words, but if if you could say to the one little person that might be feeling like so hopeless, like they just want to throw in the towel, like they like how they might not ever want to talk to nobody, what could you say to just encourage them or inspire them to keep going? Like if you could say anything, it doesn't matter what it is, what would you say?
Mm, that is a great question.
Yeah.
No, that really is, because I feel like I had to put my mindset back to where because I've been there. Like I've been
Right.
there more than once. Like ready to give up, want to throw in the towel. And it's not even wanting to talk to nobody. It's just literally not even wanting to exist anymore. Like not even wanting to be here.
Mhm.
And that's something that we don't really talk about. But I've been there, and I've been there especially when I was younger, like not even mentally mature at all.
Mhm.
And the only thing I can remember is what got me through that time was actually acceptance.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we have feelings and we have all these emotions and everything,
Mhm.
but we don't want to accept them. We don't want to acknowledge them. And I know I said, like sometimes I still struggle with that, but that's just me. That's who I am. I'm a very closed up person. But sometimes not even being able to accept that that's how you feel is harder than even, like dealing with how you feel.
Right.
Yes.
because once you accept it, now you can deal with it. You can take action on it. You can reach out for help, or you can, try and do things differently. But if you don't even accept how you feel, then it's kind of hard. So I would say, like, never invalidate yourself.
Hmm.
Like, that is the one thing. If I could speak to younger Cash, or if I could speak to any young person, I would say never invalidate yourself and never allow anyone to invalidate you. How you feel is how you feel, but how you deal with how you feel is really what matters.
Whew, that's powerful. Thank you. And I'm glad you could answer that. And I'm gonna ask you the same question, Dion. I'm gonna ask you the same question, Duane. So just remember that question. Because I feel like a lot of times we don't know as a young person, we don't know because there's so many emotions, so many feelings and all of that. And sometimes you don't feel like you've seen, heard, valued, and it's just like you
Right.
just don't know what to do. So that's why I'm like, because a lot of young people, we want the young people to come out, and I feel like these tools that we provide are for a lot of young people because you're helping them, and to be able to create this space where you're showing them and giving them the tools that they need to be able to speak up, to talk. I didn't really like, I lost my voice when I was 4 years old because some things happened to me. And so I had to figure out life. And so a lot of times, like, it was the young lady that was sitting at the table with me and how she was talking about the bully. Like, I
Yes.
could have been that bully. Like, I stopped talking. When I tell you I was like a hateful person, I was hurt and all of these things. But then as I grew older, I had some people in my life, but I wish I would have took value of the mentors. I wish I would have looked at them for what they were, because they were the people that were sent to help me, guide me through this life. But I didn't see it because when the things that happened to me at 4, it's like my brain did not develop like it should have, but it's okay. I went on a journey. So to have the mentors, to have Dion, to have this program, this project, this is a very good outlet for kids to speak up, to learn how to speak up, to learn
Right.
how to walk in their power, to walk in their truth. So I value all y'all. I value this. And so I pray that this message get out, that people come for the rest of the remainder of the month of August. So Dwayne and Dion, whichever one want to go, y'all go ahead and answer that question that I asked Cashmere, because if y'all have anything that y'all want to say to anybody, or just promote yourself, because I want people to know who you are, what you stand for, and why, everything that y'all need to get out, get it out now.
Okay.
Hmm.
Uncle, you want to go first?
You can go.
Okay. All right. Well, first I'm gonna start with my platform, where you can find me, or where you can reach me at. It'd be, of course, social media, Facebook. Um, it's Blue Flame, BLUFLAME. That's my artist name. I do music, so Blue Flame is my artist name, or stage name, if you will. Also, my Instagram. My Instagram is also underscore blue, BLU_flame. Um, am I on? I think I am on TikTok as well. Same thing, Blue Flame. And I use the rap thing. I want to know. Yes, I do. I am a rapper, or I am an artist, but I do want to use that platform for good. I don't want to use it just to be a rapper. I wanted to use it so I could, get to the youth, or reach the youth. This was one of my reasons will want to be a rapper, because so many people idolize these rappers. They have a big influence on the black community. It had a big influence on me, and it also has a big influence on my kids too. Not just me rapping, but the rappers that they see. So I want to be a rapper that's still myself, but I don't promote the violence. I don't promote the ignorance. I still want to be able to promote, being self-aware, being knowing who you are. And when I say knowing who you are, I'm not saying like knowing your name. I'm saying like knowing where you come from. What I want to get out to the youth is, if I was to tell them anything, is to have some self accountability. I know I'm trying to speak big on self. I do a lot of self evaluating. I do a lot of self, like I said, accountability. I look at myself in the mirror and say, hey, what can I change about me? And I think that with the youth, we need that. Is we can't play the blame game. We can't blame nobody else for our issues. We first have to start with self, and we have to learn ourselves more. The more you learn yourself, the more you learn your triggers, the more you are able to control certain things from happening. One thing I want to make sure that I get out is that everything's happened for a reason, and that sounds so cliche, but nothing happens in your life for no reason. It's everything that happens to you is to build character. It makes you who you are. When we say we go through certain things in life and say, "Man, I thought I would never." When you're going through it at that point in time, you be like, "Man, I ain't gonna never get through this." And then when you get through it, you be like, "Dang, it's crazy that I went through that." You know what I mean? So that's what I want youth, not just the youth, but everybody to know. The things that we go through is because God is building our character. Certain people that don't go through nothing, they don't know how to get through nothing. So they have one hardship and they ready to turn it in. So the hardship that we go through, I always used to growing up, I used to always say, why me? Why is it me? Why am I the one? Why God taking me through this? And why? But it's not that's not why. The question is you want to kind of be grateful for your issues, be grateful for your problems, because those problems are building who you are. So that's what I want to make sure that I get to through, or I want to get through to the youth, because when I was growing up, I always thought, man, why is it me? Why did I gotta go through this? Why God taking me through this? Why my family? Why my cousin? Why my dad? Why my uncle? Why? I always thought why. And so now is going into as an adult, now that I'm in my 30s, doing a lot of self evaluating and self accountability. It's not why. I'm not asking the question why. It's because God is building and He has a plan for me, and that's for everybody. So that's what I want to make sure that I get to the youth.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
said, nephew. Well said. I'm well said, nephew. And well said to you too, Cash. Y'all definitely
I can't
when they
hear
say
y'all no
nailed
more.
it.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
you.
You
Yes.
you you nailed it. You nailed it. Both of you guys nailed it. For
Mhm.
for me, um, I'm old school, so yeah, you can reach me on Facebook. Um, everything on my social media platform, everything on my to connect to my social media on Instagram. I'm not on TikTok. It's Dion Riggen-EL. That's it. Everything is Dion Riggen-EL. Um, my email is my name, Dion Riggen-EL at gmail.com. Uh, I'm not giving you my phone number because I've been having getting a lot of people calling me, man, and don't be wanting nothing. So I don't do that no more. But anyway, my email, and that's my platform on social media. And the question that you asked is that how, I know you asked Cash of her younger self, and
Mhm.
I reflect on my younger self, even though, sometimes I could see things unfolding when it shouldn't right before my eyes when I know it's gonna happen, So that's
Right.
one of the things that I want the youth to that I can see that I can add to them to say, even though I know I don't know exactly what you're going through, but I can kind of relate what you're going through because I've been there, and a lot of times you have to, wait, you have to look wait, like my nephew said, you got a gift. God created in each one of us a certain gift that we have, and once you reach that pinnacle of having that gift, and that becomes your purpose. And so once you have a purpose, then that makes you want to move forward on doing what you're doing. And I would like to tell if I'm speaking to the youth, coming from the young me, back then I used to look, the rappers and materialistic things. We shouldn't chase after materialistic things just for a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And that even goes to say how some of our youth, we may walk around, and I'm just being real about it. We walk around knowing that we can't afford certain things, but we try to get those things that we can't afford. And then once even when we can't afford them, then we'll go out and take them from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I want to get our youth to get out of the meme of thinking that you got to have a $30,000 gold chain around your neck, or you got to have a certain amount of fashion that you got to have on when just to be accepted or have a sense of living a certain kind of lifestyle. You know,
Right.
um, and just being real. I'm just just speaking on some of our youth. Some of our youth, it takes a long time for them to get it, but you shouldn't have to get it while you locked up. You shouldn't have to
Right.
be secluded away from society to get it. You know what I'm saying? We could get it. We can get it right now by the examples of other individuals like Cash, my nephew, and it's other. It's a lot of other mentors that God can help everybody else along the way. So that young me was the me that wanted to have everything, and I wanted it right away. Even though now things have speeded up and we got, you still want it now. Everything is I need it. I gotta have it now because I might not be here long enough to enjoy it. So I want our youth to be able to be motivated motivate themselves first of all, and then be motivated by the simple things in life. You know what I'm saying? You ain't always got to. Sometimes you could just you know tone it down a little bit, enjoy life. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to enjoy life. We're not here to be able to after we go through our tests and our trials. Like my nephew said, I'm relating back to him because he touched on a lot of things by saying it ain't always you can't always play the why game. You know what I'm saying? It's because there's certain things that certain things that God is putting you through is for a reason. Everything is for a reason. You toughen yourself up as you go. Or you build your character, or you build yourself up as you go. So if I would have to say anything to our young youth, especially our young adults, because our children, that's like I said, from the ages from 21 to 35. You know what I'm saying? Those they still children. You know what I'm saying? They still figuring. At age 35, you should at least have in your head where you want to be at, or be close to where you reaching your goals. So I don't want to take a whole lot of time up on talking, but that's what I'm hoping that this project will definitely touch some people in ways, or touch the youth, or encourage the parents. Sometimes the parent can
The
just
parent,
drop the
yeah.
youth. The parent can just drop the youth off, and then maybe when the child go back and express to the parent what they learning, they might want to get involved because that's where it start at. It start from home. It start at
Yes, sir.
home. And I don't, a lot of people may say, well, he don't, he had to learn it from somewhere. He learned it from home, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And it's a lot of our children that get off into these situations where the parents is the ones that's breeding a monster, And
Right.
then when a child does something that's monstrous, then we want to act like, we don't know how he got there. We don't know why he does this. We don't know this and we don't know that. But that's why we need our mentors. Because sometimes we don't want all the weight to fall. I know how they used to say it take a village to raise a child. We don't want all of the weight to fall on the parent that may need some help themselves. So we're not playing a blame game, but some of our youth parents need help. They need some
Right.
mentors. Now I can relate to some of them. I could talk to some of them, and we could come up with ways the fixing the problem if that's what it is. Our building, and that's what it is. Just a community-based building. That's all it is, you know. And and encourage our youth to be better and be the best that they can be, no matter what the circumstances is. You're gonna be able to get through it and come out of it and be on top. Because it's really like my nephew said again, it's up to you. It's up to nobody but you. You control your destiny.
I love it. I love it. So I want to thank you all for spending this time with me to tell your story, to invite people to come out. So again, I want to invite everybody out each and every Saturday from 1 to 3:30 p.m. to Godland Unity Church. The address is 22450 Schoolcraft, and that is in Detroit, Michigan 48223. And so I want to thank again Dion, I want to thank Duane, and I want to thank
Yes,
Cash
sir.
for this beautiful conversation. And I also posted the link, so y'all make sure y'all register and join us each and every Saturday, because this is not just for kids, it's for young people. And we have some amazing mentors. Y'all met them here today. Make sure y'all support them on social media. And I want to say thank y'all for a job well done. And I just believe
Can I
that God is
can
going
I
to continue. Go ahead.
can I add one more thing? It wouldn't be remiss if I don't say this, man. I also want to say, if you're on social media on Facebook, follow Free Carlos King. You know, that's another good brother of mine. His nephew is a young mentor. Also, I want to give the brother Jim Jones, aka Freshman. I want to give him a magnificent salute. He did a great job with his daughter. To give you a little bit, Cash, I know you probably don't keep up with all of his court stuff and all that, but he's definitely in the courts to be on his way back home. You know what I'm
Let's
saying? So
go.
that, and I just want you to know that
Oh,
we definitely out here advocating for your father, and things is going to come to a point where you'll be going to pick him up, or we'll be going to pick him up, and he'll be at in your sight. So don't never give up, and stay true to who you are, and I just wanted to let that be known, as well as people. It's another sister by the name of Susan Brown. She's um, currently waiting on her computation. So if you guys want to get in contact with Susan Brown, you could JPay her, or even if you want to reach out to Cashmere's father, or Carlos Kings, you could JPay. JPay is a place where you go and you find people that's incarcerated. You could connect with them. So I just wanted to I didn't want to leave them out, because they definitely had an impact on my life, and we can't and I'm definitely out here advocating for those individuals, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention them.
Man, and see, hold on now. See, now you didn't spark it up. Are we on the time? Is it a time
No, go
thing?
ahead. Go ahead. I
Okay,
was just
because I
supposed
gotta say this. I gotta say this. This has got to be said as well, because that made me think of it. So I want the youth to know, and this is to black men, and not just men, women too. But I'm speaking to the young black man in particular. Black women too, but black women too. I'm not leaving them out.
go ahead. No, you're not gonna never leave us out, but focus on them because they need to be uplifted now. So go ahead.
The streets is not cool. That's the biggest message I want. It's not cool to be stuck in the streets. It ain't nothing cool about being hood, about being gangster, about being that's the facade. It's nothing. Once you're aware of what of the system, and how we were studied, and just once you're aware of who you are and what we're here to do, once you're aware of the games that they played or the things that they did to put us in the position that we in, as far as taking our as far as the black man not being in the household, as far as there being a lot of black men in prison, as far as there being a lot of low graduating, like the graduation rate for black men is horrible. If you look at the statistics for black men, we are the most unsuccessful men out of all races. Out of every race, the man dominates the woman in success, except for us. Black women are statistically successful. A lot of black women are entrepreneurs. They have their masters, they have their degrees, they go to school, they do a lot of things, to help themselves in life. Black men, we behind. A lot of us are incarcerated, a lot of us are in the streets, a lot of us not doing nothing. So I want to motivate the black man, the young to the mid-age, every black man, man, get up and start doing something, because we the streets it's a facade. There's nothing out here. It's nothing in the streets. You're not cool if you run the streets. That's not cool. If you dumb, being stupid don't make you cool. Having a gun don't make you cool. Going to jail don't make you cool. It's real in there. When you miss your family, and you got kids that miss you, that want to come home, and you want to see the grass, you want to see the birds, the bees, you want to see the sky. That's what hurt the most. Nobody wants to go through that. So I want the youth to know that the things that we see, from the movies to the videos, everything that we see and hear, be aware to what you putting into your brain, because that's how you're going to also react too. Once you aware to what you're seeing, then man, this is a program. They programming me to be aggressive. They programming me to go rob, steal, and kill. It's nothing good about the streets. Nothing good comes out of it. Everybody always say your friends wind up dead or in jail. That's what the streets get you. It don't get you nothing. It's no money. It's no way out. use your brain, use your mind to overcome. We supposed to go through things so we can overcome. So I want to make sure I say that, and I'm gonna continue that on through the next our next speeches with our mentorship. I want everybody to know, being street, being ratchet, being all of that, the things that we see, the images that they give us, they want us to act like that to continue this cycle. So I want to make sure that I know that I get that out to everybody. Being ratchet, being street, it is not the way. Being smart and having money, that feel better. It feel better enjoying life than it do trying to rob, steal, and kill.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. Cash, you want to say anything else? Because you
Come on,
can.
Cash, say something. Go ahead and say something, Cash. Say something else.
If you
I'm
have something to say.
Y'all done said it all.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I just pulled up to my job, and I start at 6, so I got a couple of minutes before I walk in the door.
Mm-hmm. Well, we say thank you again. So I just invited everybody to come out on Saturday. Y'all make sure y'all connect to these amazing people that's doing amazing things. And so here on the T Nicole Show, anybody and everybody is welcome to come be seen, be heard, be valued, and show up authentically. So I thank God for each and every one of y'all. And so we
Thank
will see
you.
y'all again soon. We'll be
I'm
back on
definitely looking forward.
Saturday.
I'm looking forward to doing this again as well, man. This is like a little like getting out there and promoting, and it's a good idea
Yeah. Well,
for
we
this
got
platform.
this. We got this. So I'll
Okay.
see you guys soon. I'll be there on Saturday. Y'all have an amazing night. And thank you again for joining little old me. So take
Uh,
care and I'll see y'all soon.
See you
see.
Saturday.
All right. Bye.
Bye.